11 seconds into a now viral clip, Orlando Brown is back on everyone's radar, and this time, he's pointing fingers at one of the most famous families on the planet. His latest round of statements involves the Kardashian-West household, with some of his claims touching on Northwest directly, and linking her name to something he describes as deeply dark. These are allegations, nothing more, but they've exploded across social media faster than most people expected. Now, fairness matters here.
You gave me the goose smash. You gave me the last move off, the smooth smash. Diddy, yeah, son. I mean, you gave me the wash. I love it, yo. I love it. You gave me the Ushkash wash.
Orlando has a long track record of wild, unpredictable statements, and a lot of people have made a habit of tuning him out completely. That skepticism is earned, and nobody should pretend otherwise. But in a Hollywood climate where genuinely shocking stories keep surfacing, some people are choosing to at least hear a claim out before calling it nonsense. North herself has already spoken up. She's made it clear that she has no connection to anything dark, and she's stated publicly that she believes in Jesus. That response has circulated widely.
Do you love Jesus? Yes, I love Jesus. I love Jesus so much. That's my Lord and Savior. Do you love Jesus? Of course I love Jesus. That's my Lord and Savior. People be thinking I'm dark and stuff, but I'm really not.
And it deserves a place in any honest conversation about what's being said online. That said, fans have kept a close eye on her style recently, and her fashion choices have gotten noticeably bolder. A big part of the online chatter revolves around what appears to be dermal-style jewelry sitting flat against the skin, spread across her fingers, her hands, and running toward her wrists. The look has split people right down the middle, with some calling it pure creative expression, and others insisting there's something more going on beneath the surface. Then there's what's showing up on her face. Whether those pieces are real, temporary, or strictly fashion-forward statements, they've sent social media into overdrive all the same. Opinions are flying, and as always, the theories have taken on a life that goes well beyond what anyone originally said.
No. When he said, I was like, oh my God.
Some commenters have zeroed in on the metalwork across her hands, reading it as something symbolic rather than decorative. Those ideas are pure speculation, but they've spread fast, with people suggesting the look signals membership in some kind of exclusive inner circle or carries a message meant for a specific audience. Others push back hard, saying it's exactly what it looks like: a confident, fashion-forward young woman making bold choices. No hidden meaning, no agenda. Some researchers who study folklore and spiritual traditions have added another layer to this conversation. They point out that across many cultures and throughout history, body modifications and specific jewelry styles have carried ritual meaning or personal significance. Those interpretations shift dramatically depending on which culture and which era you're looking at. So drawing a straight line from ancient tradition to a teenager's accessories is a significant leap, to say the least. And none of that connects North to any deliberate personal choices. What's up with comparing yourself to Michael Jackson?
What's up with Nick?
If you compare your career to somebody, who would it be?
Michael Jackson. That's me.
Never.
You're a liar.
That's exactly what she did. Never gonna happen, someone said back. You're a liar. What? Another thing people keep bringing up is what looks like a bridge piercing. That small piece of jewelry worn across the top of the nose right between the eyes. That spot has triggered a whole wave of online theories because certain belief systems link that area to the third eye, which is often tied to intuition, inner awareness, and perception. Some internet users think the placement was deliberate, while others say it's just a style trend that's become common among celebrities and younger fashion circles. Either way, those readings are opinions, not confirmed facts. The conversation doesn't stop there. A lot of people online have pointed out that dermal-style piercings are known to be uncomfortable, tend to snag on clothing and jewelry, and need careful attention while healing. That's led some to question why someone so young would go for that kind of look, while others aren't even convinced the images show real permanent modifications at all. This is where things start getting a lot more dramatic online. Some social media users have started drawing lines between current fashion choices and historical rituals or symbolic traditions from centuries ago. Those theories have spread fast, but they're built on speculation, not anything verified or confirmed. Critics say letting kids adopt bold styles this early could push the limits of self-expression too far, while others see it as nothing more than creative fashion and personal taste. It's worth pointing out that North has always had a creative personality, and Kim has publicly stated that at least some of the hand decorations were just stickers meant for fun and artistic expression. Even with that clarification out there, the images kept the conversation going across social media. That's apparently the angle Orlando Brown is working with, suggesting there's something deeper behind the visuals than what's visible on the surface. But those claims are still unverified opinions with nothing concrete backing them up. Online discussions about North didn't just start recently, though. For years, people have argued that Kim and Kanye put her in front of high-profile fashion and public attention from a very early age. Since she's been photographed since childhood, basically every outfit she's worn has sparked debate, with supporters celebrating her confidence and critics questioning certain styling decisions. Back in 2014, when North was still very young, she was regularly spotted in coordinated outfits alongside Kim at major public events, including Paris Fashion Week. Those matching outfits quickly became front-page gossip, with fans split on whether it was all just part of the Kardashian family's signature style, or whether it put too much of a spotlight on a young kid. And the conversation didn't cool down after that. Over the next few years, each new public look North wore seemed to spark another wave of strong opinions online. In 2018, a photo Kim shared stirred up mixed reactions from fans almost immediately. Then in 2022, an outfit North wore during Kourtney Kardashian's wedding festivities in Italy set off another round of debate. Some people felt the looks showed real creativity and a bold sense of high fashion, while others felt they simply weren't suited for a child her age. Those reactions were personal opinions, not confirmed facts. More recently, when North traveled to Mexico with family members, photos from the trip spread fast across social media. Plenty of users commented on how much she'd grown and compared her look to other relatives around the same age. Not long after that, she showed up in another eye-catching outfit, a layered skirt paired with steampunk-inspired boots. And once again, the internet had something to say. It showed just how quickly any look she wears can turn into a trending moment. On its own, a lot of people actually thought the outfit was stylish and bold. But because North was only 12 at the time, the conversation shifted away from fashion pretty fast. Parents and viewers across social media weighed in, with some saying the styling choices looked too mature for her age and others defending it as creative expression. The internet split right down the middle, as it usually does. Some people felt the criticism was completely overblown. Others pointed out that young celebrities are often exposed to adult fashion trends far earlier than most kids, simply because of the world they grow up in. Then, as tends to happen online, some users started pushing theories that tried to link these fashion moments to much bigger narratives. Those ideas stay firmly in speculation territory and have no verified backing. The discussion got even louder when the Hollywood Bowl hosted its celebration of The Lion King, a special event filmed for Disney Plus that featured performers from the film, stage productions, and Broadway. The lineup was stacked with award-winning actors, singers, and seasoned performers, making it one of the biggest entertainment events of the night. North took the stage to perform I Just Can't Wait to Be King, and her appearance instantly became one of the most talked about moments of the whole event. Viewers couldn't agree on how to feel about it. Some praised her confidence for stepping out in front of that kind of audience at such a young age, while others felt her vocals and stage presence were still developing and thought the performance could have used more polish. Either way, the clip spread everywhere and kicked off yet another round of debate across every corner of social media. You took my house, took all my start, took my family members and all kinds of you. You a person. Yes, Will Smith is Michael Jackson.
Don't you ever think that is cool? That was the first setup, bro. You me, then turned me into a kid. You feel me? Took my house, took all my start my family members and all kind of shit. You a person, you a person. Yes, Will Smith is Michael Jackson, my got me.
Some viewers also noticed that during the performance, the dancers seemed to be guiding North toward her stage marks, making certain parts of the routine look rushed and uncoordinated. That detail spread quickly and became its own conversation online. On top of that, she was introduced by the original voice actor for young Simba before stepping out in front of the crowd. Because the show featured so many seasoned performers, comparisons came naturally, and a lot of people felt the moment put an unfair amount of pressure on someone her age. Once the performance ended, social media lit up with takes from every direction. Some people felt North only got the spot because of who her parents are and the access that kind of fame provides. Others pushed back and said she deserved the shot to grow and get better in front of real audiences. Then a third wave of voices online went somewhere much darker, claiming the whole thing was deliberately set up to humiliate her in public. Those claims have no evidence behind them and remain pure speculation. Certain internet communities have long pushed the idea that celebrities have to endure uncomfortable or embarrassing moments before they can reach the next level. That theory keeps circulating, but nothing has ever confirmed it's real. Even still, some people tried connecting North's performance to those rumors, dragging in older, unverified stories tied to Kanye's creative work along the way. Those discussions have been around for years without ever being backed by facts.
These are the kinds of allegations that Orlando Brown has reportedly been making.
Whether anyone believes him is a separate question entirely. A lot of viewers are skeptical because of his long track record of controversial statements and legal trouble, while others feel no claim should be thrown out completely without at least a closer look. What's clear right now is that none of these accusations have been proven, and they need to be treated as speculation until something changes. People also point to the erratic nature of his interviews, some of the more serious things he said, and the overall pattern of his public behavior as reasons to pause before taking everything at face value. Others have raised the possibility that his public appearances reflect something deeper going on personally, something that may have shaped how he expresses himself. Because of that, many fans have said they hope he has the right people around him and that his health stays the focus, no matter what headlines he generates. When people bring up Orlando making wild claims over the years, they're usually thinking of moments exactly like this one. In past interviews, he claimed Michael Jackson had a deeply personal role in his life, even suggesting at one point that Jackson was his biological father. On top of everything else, Orlando started referring to himself as Orlando Brown Prince Michael Jackson Jr. That claim blew up online almost instantly, and not in a small way. No evidence has ever surfaced to back it up, but that didn't stop the internet from running wild with debate. He also dropped a string of vague, cryptic remarks during various interviews, and people started piecing together their own theories. Some viewers latched onto comments he made about feeling trapped. That language sent certain corners of the internet straight into speculation mode, with some even trying to connect those statements to long-running rumors about hidden spaces on Michael Jackson's Neverland property. Those stories have been floating around for years, but none of them have ever been confirmed. At one point, Orlando spoke about being a father and what that situation actually looked like for him. A lot of kids, but I'll say I'll have 4 right now, he said. That's exactly what I said. So me as a father still trying to jump back into that life and figure out who everybody is. He pushed back against any judgment about it too, saying, "You can't ridicule me for not knowing. I'm not ridiculing you," he added. "I'm going to make a mistake if I haven't seen my kids. They were taken from me." Now, when it comes to Neverland itself, people who spent time on the property have described some unusual design choices and custom-built spaces throughout the estate. A lot of those features have been explained as reflections of Jackson's well-documented love of privacy, fantasy-themed environments, and highly personalized living spaces. The curiosity has never really gone away, but the more sensational claims about the property have consistently failed to hold up under scrutiny. Similar stories came up around a former New York City townhouse connected to Jackson, with workers reportedly mentioning narrow passageways found between rooms. Architectural historians were quick to point out, though, that buildings from that period commonly included hidden servant corridors as standard construction. What sounds mysterious might have been completely routine for a structure of that age. As for Orlando's interviews, the Neverland theories were just one layer of it. On the No Jumper podcast, he bounced across topics rapidly, naming several major figures from the music industry along the way. A lot of those comments were controversial, unverified, and spread fast. Among the most talked about were statements involving Nicki Minaj and references to her history with Meek Mill. Orlando made those claims himself, and no evidence backed them up. Most viewers treated them the same way they'd come to treat most of what he said, as unpredictable and unverifiable. The same pattern repeated itself when he brought up Nick Cannon and Will Smith. Those names guaranteed attention, the clips spread, and the debates followed. His personal challenges have also come up repeatedly in these public appearances. During a sit-down on Dr. Phil, Orlando opened up about his battles with addiction and his mental health struggles. One moment that really got people talking was when he seemed visibly confused while trying to answer basic questions about his own family. Viewers didn't know what to make of it, and the concern spread fast. That interview left a lot of people genuinely worried and hoping he was getting the help he needed.
Looking back at the full picture of what Orlando has said publicly over the years, it's easy to understand why his interviews always split people down the middle.
Some feel that every statement he makes deserves a harder look, especially given how unpredictable the entertainment world can be. Others push back and say that extraordinary claims need real evidence behind them. And without it, everything stays in the category of allegation. That tension is exactly what makes Orlando such a complicated person to follow. His interviews have a way of bouncing between celebrities, personal stories, bold accusations, and off-the-cuff remarks so fast that keeping track of what's fact, opinion, or speculation becomes genuinely difficult. At one point, he was asked directly, "But how long's it been since you've seen these kids, bro?" His response was, "Honestly, I see my kids everywhere."
But how long has it been since you've seen these kids?
Bro, honestly, I just see my kids everywhere. But at the end of the day, like I said, I barely see them. I don't know them. They don't know.
But at the end of the day, like I said, I barely see them. I don't know them. They don't know. Even his longtime supporters have admitted they sometimes can't pin down exactly what he's trying to communicate. What's undeniable is that Orlando's life has seen serious peaks and valleys. He went from being one of the most recognizable young faces on television to navigating very public personal hardship, and that journey hangs over every new interview he does. Some viewers watch and see someone pulling back the curtain on things the industry once buried. Others see a former child star whose experiences have shaped the way he processes and shares his story. That contrast is precisely why every time Orlando sits down for another interview, people tune in. They're waiting to hear which name comes up next and whether there's anything concrete to back it up. And whenever his name circulates online, his past tends to follow him into the conversation. For some, that history makes it hard to weigh new claims seriously. For others, automatically dismissing everything he says doesn't sit right either. The argument is that each claim should stand on its own, judged by facts and evidence, not assumptions. The way Orlando delivers his interviews adds another layer to the whole thing. He rarely tells a story in a straight line, jumping topics mid-sentence, dropping multiple celebrity names in a single breath, and leaving viewers to connect the dots themselves. That unpredictable delivery is a big reason why his clips travel so fast online, with different people walking away with completely different readings of what he actually said. Separating confirmed facts from internet rumor, though, still matters. Over the years, rumors involving big names have flooded social media, and a large portion of them never get confirmed or eventually fall apart completely. That's exactly why it pays to stay grounded whenever dramatic allegations start picking up steam. And that's where things get a little more layered, because Orlando didn't just throw out wide, vague accusations. He also dropped hints about private conversations and behind-the-scenes dynamics that, at least according to him, explain why certain celebrities carry themselves the way they do in public. Orlando has suggested there are moments that happen far from any camera that the general public simply never gets access to. His position is that the entertainment industry looks very different from the inside than it does on your TV screen or Instagram feed. Now, those kinds of comments have absolutely stirred up conversation, but it's worth noting that he hasn't backed many of those broader claims up with actual evidence. Even so, plenty of fans are still drawn to the idea that celebrities are dealing with pressures behind closed doors that rarely make it out into the open. Long hours, constant media coverage, and the relentless pressure to project a flawless image can build an environment that people on the outside never fully grasp. Former child stars especially have opened up about how brutal it is to grow up with the public watching your every move. That wider conversation has pushed some viewers to take a closer look at Orlando's own journey. He found success early, but his personal struggles played out right in front of everyone, which makes his story a very different one from the clean, polished image people might remember first. Because of that history, every new interview he gives tends to get read through two completely different lenses. Some people focus on the fact that his views are shaped by genuinely painful experiences, while others are waiting to see if any piece of his claims ever gets corroborated. One thing that's hard to argue with, Orlando keeps talking, and he doesn't seem to hold much back. Every appearance adds a new layer to an already unpredictable story, and the questions just keep piling up. What's particularly striking is how his interviews tend to leave people with more questions than answers. Rather than walking through a clear timeline or presenting hard proof, he tends to share quick memories, offhand remarks, and personal takes that viewers then try to stitch together on their own. That loose, stream of consciousness style is a big part of what makes his appearances so hard to predict. Some entertainment commentators have noted that this pattern isn't exclusive to him either. In the current media climate, a single clipped soundbite travels way faster than a full-length interview, which means individual quotes routinely get stripped of all context before they reach most people. That dynamic alone means Two different audiences can walk away from the exact same conversation with completely opposite interpretations. On top of that, there's the matter of his background. Lando isn't some random person commenting on Hollywood from the outside looking in. He spent years actually inside that world from a young age, crossing paths with actors, producers, musicians, and all kinds of public figures along the way. Some of what Orlando has said over the years clearly sticks with people long after the interviews end. Viewers who followed his story for a while tend to pay close attention whenever he hints at things happening behind closed doors, even when those stories can't be confirmed. That kind of curiosity pulls people back to older interviews, podcasts, and live streams, combing through past comments to see if anything lines up. Whether those pieces actually connect is still being debated, with supporters seeing recurring patterns and critics saying those patterns aren't really there. One thing that doesn't get brought up enough is how much his public image has shifted. Early on, most people recognized him from his acting and comedy work. Now his name is just as tied to his interview moments as it is to the shows that first put him on the map. That's a real change, and it's exactly why every new appearance he makes generates so much attention before he even says a word. There's also a bigger conversation building around what interviewers and audiences owe each other in situations like this. Some people think Orlando should be pressed harder when he brings up serious allegations with no evidence to back them up. Others feel the focus should be on understanding his personal experiences rather than chasing the most explosive soundbites. That difference in approach has produced very different reactions, depending on where the clips end up being shared. Part of what makes this so complicated is that Orlando often blends confirmed moments from his own life with personal opinions about other public figures. That mix makes it hard to tell where firsthand experience ends and speculation begins, especially when everything gets trimmed down into short clips for social media. Context gets lost fast, and the conversation shifts in a different direction depending on who's watching.
Right now, Orlando Brown stands as one of the most unpredictable voices coming out of the entertainment.
Whether people see him as someone offering a raw and unconventional perspective, or just making noise to get attention, every interview he gives adds another chapter to an already layered story. And sure enough, not long after, another interview surfaced with comments that caught people completely off guard. After going through all of this, it's not hard to see why opinions on Orlando split so sharply. Some point to his history as a reason to approach his claims carefully, while others note that a handful of his past comments turned out to be closer to reality than most expected. That doesn't mean every allegation holds up, but it does explain why some people are willing to hear him out before forming a verdict. As for the conversation around Northwest, two very different schools of thought are circling the same topic. Some see her fashion choices, her accessories, and dramatic style as nothing more than creative expression shaped by growing up inside one of the most trend-setting families in pop culture. Others believe there's something more deliberate behind the imagery. At this point, though, those readings stay firmly in the territory of personal opinion rather than anything established or confirmed. Are these theories just noise, or is there something real worth digging into? Drop your take in the comments, because this conversation is just getting started. If this video hit different, hit that like button, subscribe to Backstage Culture, and pass it along to someone who needs to hear it. We're out here connecting the dots that the headlines always miss, and there's a lot more where this came from. See you in the next one.